Hello and welcome everybody. This is Mechanical Gamer and this is episode 5 of my Let's Play with Let's Play Satisfactory. Today our objective is to start the steel factory, which is why this episode is titled Steel. So we've got our work cut out for us. Get a few things squared away. We need to get our tractor loaded. For crying out loud, we may even just drive that tractor up here so that way we can load it up without having to walk that far. But our last episode, as you can see, for those of you who missed out, we got our blade runners, and man, they are great. I've always loved these. So yeah, let's take a look and see what we can do about getting the tractor up here. Having a lot of iron plate. I need some rotors. But yes, the last episode we did get our steel plant up and, or excuse me, our full power up and running. So don't have that issue to worry about anymore. So we're gonna need a few things. So we're gonna get our all supplied up, miners, everything that we're gonna need, because this is gonna be, it's not gonna be built here. So yes, we got plenty of steel. Not plenty of that though. Cable. Either our cable is moving into the tank here. Let's see how many points we've got it. Ooh, 22. Let's cash those in first. That. Just gotta make sure that the assemblers. The foundry, yep, the foundry is going to require frames, so we're going to have to build a couple of those by hand. We don't have a factory for those yet, which somewhere out over that way or down south, we're going to set up that factory. We might be able to do that today as well. But for now, we'll just build them by hand. Just need it for frame. And build that awesome top. That right next to our map. And let's have a look and see what we can find. So some of the things I like to grab right off the bat: doors, wall holes. So these are more important on this end, so that's 7 out of the 22 points. Foundations, we'll grab the inverted one, that's 9 points. That'll put us up to 12 points. Can't grab any of this yet because our research isn't there. Grab the light, actually, that would be important. Now 13, got another 9 points. on modern rail. I don't want mod. Industrial size rail. All right, now we will spend our points.
If you sense your productivity slipping when it gets dark, don't worry, this is perfectly natural. Fortunately, fix-it lights allow you to never experience wasteful darkness ever again.
Yeah, we need those lights for our blueprints. Start doing highways. Our modular frame. Ooh, this is mostly not screws at all. It's more expensive. So yes, we're going to want to dedicate some time to set up a factory for these. Somewhere in Greengrass Valley over there. Or we could set them up here. We have the iron node below us that can be used to build these. Yeah, we really want to build 10 or 12. Means we're going to need more than what we have here. $70. Build to 70, we need to stop. And we need to make sure we collect enough reinforced iron plate to do the job that we're. So we did scope out in the last episode the location that we'd like to build these facilities. Found a nice little hilltop. It'll do well for the steel beam, and that's the first thing we really want is the steel beam. Need to take a look and see what's required for blueprints, because we probably will need some steel pipe too. So if I can get a small line of that turning off the same resource node, that'd be great. Oh, I could crank these out. Actually, not going to. I'm going to put the screws back into storage. Back in their storage and actually go up here and collect them from the bin. Got several hundred of them. Really pick the screws. That's gonna jam a machine. Gotta move. Gotcha. Perfect. We don't want that to happen. That jams the machine, needs to replace the belt. inventory. Nice. That should be enough to get us started. Now we're going to be doing stop and go with our tractor because we have to build out the power as we go. We're going to build this power not from here, but from the power plant. From our power plant over there. Like I said before, I'm going to put everything pretty much on a main backbone. These lines you see here are going to get deleted at some point when we start doing highways, because one of the primary designs that I'm thinking about for a highway will have an undercarriage. That undercarriage will carry power the overhead lights. Let's take a look here. Yes, I do wish I could destroy those things. One of the things I wish we could do is take those things out. Alright, so we're going to take our power around this mountain here. And be careful not to use that one because that's going to end up getting broken at some point. It's getting its power. Oh, it is coming from over here. Grab the tractor now. Oh, that's a big boy. He ain't happy to see us. Let's get away from him. He's gonna have a hard time keeping up with us because we have Blade Runners active. I do want that summer sloop though, so at some point I'm gonna have to come back over here and fight him for it. But I cannot resist. Come on, you little devil. Come on. Come on. Oh, bud. Oh, come on, you hot shot. Can't win. That's the other thing that's great about the Blade Runner guys. They can run fast, these hogs. But, hey, a Blade Runner, man, it keeps up with them. Summer sloop.
The Summer Sloop was named after Marie Somerville, co-founder of Fixit and head of its R&D department. There are many theories about the origin of this shape and why this symbol mathematically resembling a Mobius strip has found its way to both human and extraterrestrial culture. Thankfully, you don't need to know any of these theories to be a pioneer. Research it in the MAM to establish locally appropriate classification and application. Fun fact: the planet you are on was found and named during a planet spotting event Marie hosted named Marie's Awesome Scientific Search of the Avant-Garde Exoplanets.
Interesting. Alright, so now we've got the power from our power facilities and all that, from our case all the way out to here. So probably one of these nodes down in here is gonna end up being a factory for power. Oh, that's a generator coming up. It will end up being used to build modular frames. We will need a factory for those because modular frames are used in the construction of more advanced components. And as you can see, they're used in the construction of base components. We're going to send the power line through the trees this way. We'll park our truck over here. Sorry, little guy, you're never going to win that one. Put this power slug over here. Bring our power across. What is impures? That is the one thing that kind of stinks about the grassy fields, guys. It may be an easy start, but there really are no real good veins of iron here. So that's why you see so many people, they start here, they don't stay here. And the reason I think they did that here is that they want to force you to expand your horizons. But the node we found over there technically is along the coast. It's not, I don't know if that's in the greenfield biome or not. Maybe it is. Or in the grassy field biome, but it is definitely got more resources than the normal nodes of this area. Bump this. A lot of people start their base right down here in this valley. Because I like that valley, the problem with it is you can't expand there. Oh, let's see how this hog handles. Yep. What as I expected. Oh, he's actually liking it because I'm going a little too slow for him. And just get a hit in before I can get that last hit. Oh, crap. Oh, we're going to have to hoof it back up around. Now, see, we got a couple normals here. These three normals probably really a good spot for setting that up. But we could worry about that. Get the steel production up and running. Of course, we're going to continue with our research in the MAM and moving through tier 4. This list over here on the side, this to-do list. Don't know if we're going to get through the entire list today. To tell you the truth, odds are very much in the favor that that's not going to happen. So, alright, we're going to just jump on down here. Alright. But it's still a start. It's what we're trying to shoot for. These are our objectives that we want to get done so that we can move on to the next phase, which is building the space elevator part for phase 2, I believe is what they call it. Oh. Okay, so we got those 3 normals down there, and then we got these, I believe, in here. Now our base is actually located in between the grassy fields and the northern desert, which is another start location. So and keep that in mind that you could go from one start location to the next without any issues at all and walk from one to the next, which honestly I find that to be pretty cool. Close to that hog. A lot of this thing. At some point here pretty soon, we're going to want to start getting our Caterium up and running. On this side of the arch. Actually build this arch. This line will get torn down when the highway goes. Looks really big, that hog. Grab our tractor, driving off. And I might be changing the research order. Logistics March 3 is great, but I might want to do blueprints first. And for one reason, I really would like to start developing my blueprint library, primarily my library for building specific components within my factory. Not the highways, but actually building more useful structures like assembly lines and refinery lines. Not refinery lines, we don't have that yet, but assembly lines and assembly, smelter, and foundry lines, and structure lines, so that we can actually just go. That's a big guy down. What is he protecting? So important. They don't put the big ones on something unless there's something down here yet. Oh yeah, that's a big one. We don't want to mess with him. Might be a stone thrower, but avoid him. Yep, that's where we're going, guys. Right over there. That's for our steel production. I'm gonna drive down there because he won't mess with me if I'm in my road. That's something you gotta remember. The wildlife will not mess with you if you're in a vehicle. So train, tractor, truck. Oh, this is one I could take. This is the weakest of the alphas. Watch out for these plants here, guys. These plants, they put out such a stink. And it's a deadly stink. Since we don't have the gas mask or the gas filter being built yet, we are not in position to be messing around with those. And we're barely tier 4. And we're setting up some of the lines from tier 3 still. So this spot is perfect for steel beam, because if you take a look here, we've got ourselves a limestone, just says here, I believe, impure, but got limestone. How many other of these nodes do we have around here? We got that. We've got these two over here. They're both impure, an impure, a normal, and a normal. So we got quite a bit of limestone around here that we could turn into concrete. We may want to use an alternate recipe, but more than likely what will happen is we'll have those make some concrete, and we'll ship some concrete in as well. All right, so we've gotten to the spot. Let's bring the power over here real quick. And we will stop the power right. Inventory space is kind of full, so what we need to do is offload a bit of this stuff into our truck. Biomass truck. And then we're gonna get to taking down this forest. The tedious part of it is getting the area prepped for construction. Whole node over there. So this steel factory is only going to do some basics, but more than likely we'll put a highway in here that comes to the steel factory, takes the steel away for production somewhere else and other things. But we're going to work off these two primarily. Summer Sloop. Let's see if there's any more coal on that side of the canyon. One pure node over there, that's plenty to actually do. And of course we have a pure node over here, so we got two pure nodes, we got plenty of iron. We're gonna put steel beam here. Steel beam here. And over here will be steel pipe. This steel pipe will also have a small line for explosives. We need to get that up and running as well so that we can do some major obstacle clearing as needed. And we'll be setting this factory up mostly off this cliff here. We'll have a smelter line. We'll have our refoundry line. We'll have a foundry line followed by along with foundry line along with lines for that does, by the way, this leads down to a vein of sand ore. Keep that in mind. But we want to have our lines running off this cliff rather than concrete. I got enough. I got ladders in my important reasons, guys. Most important unlocks in the is ladders. Ladder. We don't have any of the materials we need. We're kind of stuck in this pit. Unless there's an way out. I think out. And for those of you who are scared of spiders, I'm sorry. I mean, I could turn on safety mode with those, and then they turn into a bunch of little cats. But in my opinion, that detracts from the message of kittens, stuff they're talking about in those opening videos, those research videos that they have us dealing with. Okay, that can go. Oh, not put that in. Poke back these now. Drop these in here so we can. Get a couple petal berries to get our health up. Hit B on our keyboard to bring up that flashlight. And now we're going to go to platform. Now, control, okay, remember that. That allows you to walk the world grid. This starts our platform. We're going to hit R to bring up zoop mode. And what we're going to do this time, we're going to go up 2. Waterfall pit, isn't it? One over there too. I don't think the game creators meant to see that one. Huh. We're gonna go up 2. And we're gonna do 6 spaces for each line, okay? So first things first, we're gonna go out 3. Go out to that, that'll be perfect. The reason why we came out is to get our miner's room. Because we're going to have our miners turned toward... Really? Thought I built those. I just... Avoid having to put a crafting bench in over here, but we will. Crafting bench. Workshop. A couple miners. We're going to need one for the coal as well. So now. Voila. Okay, this tree's got to go. Just enough fuel left. Cut it down. Okay, we're gonna bring the tractor over. That way we have our resource mule right next to us. Now we got to work on getting that coal over there to over here. That's gonna require a bridge. Cause that chasm down there, yeah, it'll kill you. You'll also run a ladder up this well. So ladder on 1, this on 2. Four and 5. 6. 7 and this. So now it's 1. There's the ladder. We're just gonna drop on down though. Hear 'em. Oh, he got glitched. Oh, I'm gonna let him be. He can't harm us down there. All right, let's put the miner in. And this miner, we're gonna want to run power and line immediately from this this miner. So that power. This not where we want. Up here in a minute. Now we're going to bring in the conveyor line. Now we're going to do straight mode on this. Make our lives a little easier. Just shy of the maximum height of this. Okay, so there's our line from the coal. Coal power bounce right up into here. Eventually, we'll have to upgrade all this to Mark III. We'll have to overclock that whole generator down there to 240 or 270. But that's not today's mission. Today's mission is just getting everything set up. So, up, up. Actually, can pull here, underfloor. Have this come out. So this under panel floor is only going to go out to about 5 or so. We'll run the entire length. And basically what it's for is servicing the return. So all of our factory inputs are designed in a sense in this game where we go in one way and we come out the same way we go in. So we'll have our input, they'll come in, they'll come and juncture up with where they need to go, and then we have our returns, which they'll come in, they'll come down and head over to the next line. All right, so let's build a way up, and we're going to change that. We're going to do this one differently because we can. All right, so now we're on this upper deck. All right, so this will start us out with our build. The first 4, so these 3 will be walk. The 4th one will be the stage, and then the 5th one is the earliest that we could start of construction of our building units. So since we're doing steel, this one's going to require the foundry. We're going to put one foundry here. And like I said, we're going to be doing blueprints of this stuff here later today, if the time allows for it. We'll do the lower one in the back. We'll do the lower one here, the upper one here. The upper. By the way, I just did that wrong. So we got to remember it's always 3 away. 1. Upper, lower, so this gives us our lineup for where these have got to be. We only need 8 of these right now, or set up 6 actually for now. All we're going to need for this time, for the time being. Technically, we will need 7, but criminy, we don't have Christ, we don't have rotors. I know for a fact I didn't pack any because So that means we get to play the game of drive back and pick up some rotors. And this might be the first base we give a look. I'm not sure of that yet. Let's see. Also, like I said, this base is going to produce a few things. It's going to produce steel beam encased steel beam as well, which will be needed to make the Mark II miners, which, by the way, harvest at double the speed of the Mark I. So a pure vein, instead of 120 a minute, now provides 240. And luckily for us, Steel Mark III, Logistics Mark III gives us a belt that instead of doing 120 a minute, does 270 a minute. Which means that we'll have more than enough belt capacity to handle that upgrade. And this is also good because it probably gave it some time to get us some rotor build up here. Once we get this factory up and running, these two factories, we're going to come back and we're going to have to build a frame factory. Say, at least after the steel beam factory's up, we're going to want to do that. Logistics Mark III may not wait. It might be before the blueprints, kind of like we have it. That I think it needs to happen before advanced steel production. It is more important than advanced steel production. Out of the vehicle. Do be careful driving near open bodies of water like this, guys. You land that tractor in there, it will stop working. You'll have to delete it and rebuild it. And if you have anything loaded into it and you don't have enough space in your inventory, well, tough, you're going to have to go and go swimming for the crate that's down there. To tell you the truth, I might do frames on this one, not enough. You really want to have 244 rods and 244 steel plate or iron plate as well, because you're going to need screws for that. Reinforced plate. 133. So that one there might actually end up being a rotor factory. That concrete's definitely doing a lot better. What we need over here? Grab a little bit more steel. That's why I came down here without thinking about that. We're almost getting to a point, guys, where we could actually use resources to build a shell around this. Let's start our next step. Let's look at which one of these is better for two. So let's fix that blueprints requires 100 modular frames. Okay, I think Mark III is first because Mark III doesn't require any of that. Yeah, Mark III will be first because we'll build the pipe and we'll build the beam. If we're gonna do that though, we're gonna need to build some modulars. Grab another 70 of those. That way we have enough. And if we run low on reinforced iron plate, we can grab that while we're here too. That should have stockpiled up decently. But yeah, it is going to be important that we get that modular frame factory set up before we do blueprints. So blueprints will probably come before advanced steel production, because blueprints are a godsend. They speed up the construction process ways you possibly couldn't imagine if you're new to the game. Those of you who are more veteran, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You could literally set up your most common designs, like for instance, our constructor line, or our foundry line, or our smelter line, or our assembly line. We could set those up, and then we could standardize that across the mark, which really comes in handy when you're trying to figure things out, figure out where things belong. Because yeah, 100 modular frames, that's a lot to construct by hand. It would be nice to have a factory that does that for us. And we're probably going to also want dedicated factories that do nothing but rotors. We've already talked about that. And probably reinforced iron plate as well. Now we got 90 of those. Well, right now we're producing, let's take a look and see how these are doing. At 100, this is probably not 100. So yeah, we're putting out about 10 a minute. We'll take that 10 a minute for now. Back off to our build site. Maybe not that way. Go around. This path that we have here is probably going to be the route that the highway follows to head out to the green fields. There will be another branch that heads over to the power plant, but it's not necessary. Now the highway will not be built at ground level, it'll be built pretty high up. We really usually want those to be generally flat and level, with the transfer incline here and there. But once that's done, that's in place, this line that you see here, we'll be able to get rid of it. The highway will be able to be a backbone for our utility. But yes, that factory is not quite big enough to see yet, but we will be able to see it in the future. Like I said, I'm still thinking about whether or not I want to put a facade on that one. Figure that out when we get closer. Right now, we are not really in a position to waste that kind of resource right now. We need to get things up and running first, a bit better than they are. We've already got the dedicated steel line, so we're not going to worry about that. Or excuse me, dedicated iron plate line and a dedicated screw line. We'll probably have another of each of those, but mostly for those will be mostly for building a product. That's what this factory here is going to do. This factory we're building right now is for building a product. The product that this factory is building is steel beam. And then later encased industrial beam. Okay, so this is the wrong unit. There, that one. We're in up there. Now we've kind of set these machines up the way we have for a reason. That way they'll hold. Oh, well, that didn't work for this side, so let's look at this side and make sure it's close enough. Always pull those machines. Yeah, this side's good. Let's pull these machines in one more. Have all of these come in just one step more, one step closer. This is a very compact setup, and honestly, sometimes compactness is great, sometimes it's not. We're going to drive our lower belt. Drive them in and get this lower belt in place first. That way we're not fighting this upper one. That way. So yeah, this is more machines than we need for the steel. So those of you who are wondering, yes, it's more than what we need. But we are going to get that Mark III upgrade. It's actually going to be perfect. No, it doesn't look like it now. It will be perfect in the long run. Because we will have 240 items a minute running through here, and if we do overclock, we can get up to 270. All right, so let's get the main rail in. We're going to put the main rail in the assembly area. We're going to bring in our mergers. And we will do a merge above and just drop it on in. And yes, our constructor lines will be inset one further back. And we'll have constructors over here. They're going to start on this one. We want this space to be an open space all the way down. That way we can check the back end of these lines if we need to. So these are going to both drop to the floor. So we'll keep this one ground level. Ourselves a merger. Can I research floor holes? Probably not. Okay, let's just set up a awesome shop and an awesome to grab the tickets. Right now, have it. This awesome sink, once we're done with it, we're just after the tickets. You can pull the tickets from any sink, guys, that is powered. Keep that in mind, if the sink is not powered, and you cannot pull the tickets from it. And we will keep an awesome shop over here, that way. We need fruit. Gotta build a crafting. These are tools that are needed over here anyway, so. And we probably should bring a MAM over here as well, that way we could do research from offsite. All of your MAMs work on the same network, so if you have a hard drive you need to research and scan, you will, if you go to another MAM, you will see that it's scanning as well. It does not speed it up, doesn't change anything. So keep that in mind. As far as MAMs go, oh, we're already at an hour. And yes, we're going to run both of these through the belt right away, because as soon, and I mean this when I say this, as soon as we turn those belts from Mark II to Mark III, they're going to speed up a heck of a lot. Okay, so here's that. Architect. Management. There it is. We're gonna grab this. We're gonna grab this. We're gonna grab this. 3 points right there. I don't usually use floor holes for pipes. They don't, for whatever reason, they have issues.
As Fixit amply demonstrates, you can never have too much management.
So now we've got the floor hole. And this one we are going to put on the hot bar. We're not going to put these two on the hot bar. Actually, we will put the ceiling mounts on there because we stack them that way. So rule of thumb is, guys, one away from where your thing is. So this one here, probably here. So those are our inputs. Over here, the output's going to be right here. Don't want to enter this 3 path. We can enter this one a little bit. Now, if I go down below, we're gonna see we got holes. This one here, we're just gonna keep it up high. This one here, we'll have this one go this way. We'll have this one go this way. Hole will come in from over this way. Actually, we can have them both go the same way. Yeah, let's just do that. So this one will be our coal line, this back one. And the front one... half here. Lines. Probably saying, why not 3? Well, we're only going to have 2 inputs. We're going to take these ones, we'll put a bridge up, have them basically meet up right in here. That now. That's correct. Okay, right on the center line of this. And the reason why we're bridging over is that way we can walk from here without having to cut to a belt. That's not going to work. We're going to want the same right here. We're going to switch the direction. That's R. Oh, this is wrong. All right, there we go. Guys are connected. Guys, come on out. On the support there. Circle. Drop a pair of supports in here. Better. Yes, we are supporting our belt, but not just floating in midair. So that right there is our input. What I'm going to end up doing here, this is where the power is going to ingress the building. Bring a power pole right here. So when these circuit breakers, we'll cut it, put a circuit breaker in, then we'll power it up. But right now we don't want to power this up because we don't have a production. We don't have a production and we don't have a cargo container. Now that we've got this up and running, we need to program it. Don't forget to do that. Otherwise you'll be sitting there wondering, why is my ingot not going anywhere? Program in the recipe. All right. Plus, this is also a great way, guys, you can check and see your grid thing. How much power is our grid? Is this grid going to take off of our network? All right, so for instance, if you take a look at our network over here, we're already consuming about 686 max, and this grid alone is 96. We're not even done. All right, so constructors. Like I said, our constructors are going to be, so we have the assembly area for cargo container, the assembly, which is where we start things, constructor itself, and our constructors are going to be actually, we're going to come in a little closer with, not going to be as far away as the last one. We're going to come into here and to here. You know why? You take a look. Actually, you know, I want one space because it's kind of hard to upgrade the belt. Back. This is going to be the new standard layout for factories. And we're going to need 4 of these. Five. Okay. Bring this power out to staging area for the tower. So there'll be 2 between this one. Everything's going to stage to the left. Like we have here, it's going to be built over, stage to the left. And then, of course, you got to remember with this one, we're going to have a merger and we're going to have a splitter. At some point, we'll have a smart splitter as well that will split the overflow into an awesome sink over here. Container. One. Now, when we do the blueprint here in a little while, because we need a few things to make that happen. Before we can do blueprints, that's why we're going to do the Mark III first. This portion that you see here will not be on the blueprint. Okay, it will not be. We'll have to build it every time. What are we building here? We're building steel. Make sure it took. It looks like it did. And now this grid's probably looking at somewhere right around 108. 119. Oh. 119 is not bad to run a steel grid. Okay, really it's not, guys. That's really good. Need to finish with the logistics. I'm thinking actually about putting a cargo container under the floor. Yeah, we'll do it under the floor, and we'll do our awesome sinks like in this front assemblage area. That way we can keep this upper space nice and... Actually, we'll bring our cargo container out here. That way it's easy access for transport later. But like I said, we're going to need a splitter, so we're going to do a splitter here. We guarantee we'll replace this with a smart splitter. Time comes, because we don't want resources to go to waste. But we're going to keep this belt high. But want to get this on the center line now. We're gonna have to unlock. Jack, get off my key. Lock it. And there we go. Now we still got to put in the floor hole up here for that. Take care of this one now. Once this is connected and we have a conveyor, not a conveyor, a connection to it's a connection into a cargo container, then we are set. We'll bring it. Belt's going that way. What's this? That's not gonna help us. What's going on up there? Set these up wrong again. So do remember, belts have to go in the way they come out the way they come in. That way you get that ability, it gives that ability to expand. Now you don't have to do it that way if you don't want to, but you're just going to have an easier time if you do. All right. And voila. Now connected there. Let's take a look at our cargo container. We're going to hit 0. E and see if we have the double. We don't have the double yet. So we're going to create our own double. We create our own double by here, what we're doing here. Connect the two. Run it in, and now this bottom cargo container, this is what's going to fill up. Alright, so we're going to now do our troubleshoot, make sure everything's right. Bridge it on over. Switch to this one. Miners kicking on, they are. Green light down there, so it looks like that one's picking up. We should see coal coming out of that in a minute. So it's going to take a few minutes for the resources to get here. But this right here, once it's troubleshooted on through, make sure everything's working properly. This will be basically the construction of the steel beam. And then we'll head on over to the site for the steel pipe, which will have a very similar setup to what we got here. It'll have a line for smelters, a line for, there's a troubleshooting thing there. So this right here is a sign that when you see a red pole, guys, means something's wrong. Power. Ah. So anytime you see a red pole, it either means there's no power or the recipe didn't take. So there we go. So it's probably more like 130 on the but. So we see the iron is now here. Our coal has now come up onto the main floor. Right. Yeah, this is actually going to work, so we'll come back and check on it later. Let's get to the next objective. Steel pipe. Now, we could do steel pipe here, but this, I really want this one to be completely dedicated to steel beam. And the reason why is that we're going to need a dedicated steel beam factory, and we're going to need a dedicated steel pipe factory. You see the iron lifting in, a coal finally getting up here. Alright, so we can leave this to its own devices. If it jams up, that'll be okay. We'll come and fix it in a minute. We're going to do a branch off of the main up here. So the reason why we're doing steel pipe and steel beam in different locations. Steel beam's used to build the encased industrial. Steel pipe is mostly going to be used for building explosives. Obelisk in particular, and there is a fresh source of what is that material? Fresh source of sulfur over here. Iron nodes right here. Got plenty of iron out this way. So we may have to pipe some of this iron up the hill here. Grab the tractor now. Have to do some driving. And of course, we're going to grab that technology when we get back to the next base. looking around. Yes, this iron mine that we had here, we'll probably use these for something else later. Same with those. Defense power source. Not like the. Oh, it ain't undefended. So once again, we're going to do something similar where we're going to run our production lines off this cliff in order to keep this area minimalized. Our coal is up there. We have an iron down here somewhere.
Look through the window and witness a thread. The effigies ripples through our temples, our veins nearly touch. He is shy, notes shall be taken and played.
From a certain perspective, your brain looks like it is processing language, but there is no auditory data. If you are hearing voices that are not mine, this is no cause for concern. It is a common side effect of extreme pressure and stress.
We'll have to pipe these guys over. Wow, there's a lot of iron over there. Okay, so then we're gonna pipe the iron over. We'll belt it over here. Take a look and see what we got first. I think these are normal. Actually, we'll belt that. I'm gonna belt the coal over here. Normal no. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of coal in the grassy fields biome. Do keep that in mind, guys. Starting this biome, you're kind of coal locked. Kind of like starting over in the arid desert. Oh, big one over in the east. That's one of the hardest biomes to start in because there are no trees over there. Very little forest. So very little biomass to get started. I think I want my factory. I can kill all these. Burn this. This one has to have biomass. Plenty of extra. Well, this is perfect because we backpack here. Okay, you want to start something? So we're not going to do a whole lot when it comes to making gunpowder for the sulfur, because we're going to have to import some coal for that. Then again, we might just reserve some of it to build that, overclock that machine. When we get Mark 4 belt, we'll upgrade that line first, because you think about it, we'll be able to get 240 out of that. We overclock it, we'll easily get 480, and Mark 4 belt holds 480, so yeah, we'll be fine. For the sulfur line here too. Plus this will also help us to lead toward the turbo fuel, which we're going to want before we start building our first fuel power station. Keep that in mind, guys. When you build a fuel power plant, you really don't want to run it on fuel. You really want to run it on turbo fuel or better. You start with turbo fuel, then you upgrade to rocket fuel. And you can get way more generators by doing that. And at that point in the game, when you're developing things like Rocket Fuel, which is tier 7, tier 8, your machines run on significantly more power than they do right now. I mean, take a look at the constructor. It's running on 4 megawatts, I think it is, like 4 or 5 megawatts. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but it's a minuscule amount in comparison to, say, the gigantic assembler that we're going to be building later. Not the 2, but the 4. That guy takes 55 megawatts of energy to run. And we're going to need that at some point in our future game. Hog that. Saw me too. All right, we've done enough clear cutting. Have the bacon trim. Parkour up this. We should be able to do it pretty good results with the Blade Runners on. Yep. All right. So our next objective now, set up the pipe factories. Let's get that up and running. We're going to do it off this cliff here, so. So we'll run our opening rail here. This is going to be the rail where all the supplies run. Oh, that's the name of the desert in the east, is Dune Desert. So that desert is difficult compared to the northern desert. Northern Desert's a nice, I'd say, intermediate area to start. Northern Forest is honestly an excellent area to start. A lot of opening resources in that area that a lot of good resources in the northern forest that honestly, you know, lots of pure nodes. It's necessarily good resources. It's mostly pure nodes that really change the uppity of your game. The issue is those pure nodes are in very hard areas to build. They're difficult build areas. And we'll probably jump right off this guy here. Perfect. All right. So I think we should make the hop, skip, and a jump over to the steel factory. Actually, I think I might be able to do far enough. We might still coming off of those lines. Yep, that's working. A lot of yellows. I need to go check it. And a lot of that's probably because we don't have enough resources to do what we're doing over there. We don't have Mark III built, which is why Mark III is one of the primary objectives that we need to work on. That's why we're letting that factory go first. This will produce the steel beam, which is what's required to build Mark III builds. So basically, all those reinforced iron plates that we put out in our build Yeah, we're gonna get them all back. So we're producing well here. Here. Oh, see that right there, guys? Aha. That's why we troubleshoot, because sometimes we forget. Once we get blueprints, that won't happen as much. Right now, we're nowhere near the blueprint time. Nowhere near blueprints. We got one more technology before those. Those will be second only because, like I said, they're an important technology. We're going to put up a factory for building modular frames. That hog is okay. Remember before we couldn't do that jump? Now we can. Hearing something ringing. It's not that power slugger. Very well be. Okay. Two. And we're out of concrete. I think I packed some more in the backpack of tractor. Not, then we're making the long drive back to the base. Let them not. Making a long drive back to the base. We're gonna pick up supplies. And we're also going to go and toggle the technology for what's the purity of this thing? Oh, we got a normal perfect. We'll ship that one back over to the beam factory at some point. Yes, we're going to be doing a lot of beams, guys. Oh, no. Okay. We're going to want to do a lot of beams rapidly. Encased industrial beams are an expensive component. Take quite a bit of resources to make. Unfortunately, Tier 4 belts are nothing but industrial encased beams. Industrial beam. I believe it's 200 steel beam for this project we gotta do. We might as well go over here and grab that now. If we've got it available, we should take it with us. Just drop it into the research when we get to that point. Yes, guys, when that highway goes in, if you're wondering how much easier it'll be to drive, it will be a lot easier. Highway will have no obstacles in the way. But we can't do that one until we get a quick wire factory up and running. So that we can put some quick wire on the market for production. So that we can actually put in the light posts. Yeah, if you can see now that we're having to drive quite some distance to get to our home base. So yes, that's one of the reasons why Steel Factory is an expansion. Quite so. Down in this valley right here, we're going to put in a Caterium factory. We're going to quick wire. But we could do that at any time. We do have the resources for it. Hey, hi. Little devil spawned in next to my base. There you spawn in my territory. Park the tractor here. We will be back here as soon as the pipe is produced. I think we're going to need 200 and 200. We're going to find out right now. The 6 marks the next milestone. Oh yeah, we're going to need 200 pipe and we've already got the beam, so we might as well give it to them before we brought it here. So yep, we are now in the steel age. Most dangerous age of man. Once mankind figured out how to make steel, the world was never the same. Technically, yeah, it's definitely when we got to make steel. Once we figured out the Bessemer process, of which almost all modern steel mills work off of, or off of something similar, that really changed our world. Copper. Pick up another fuel, another solid biofuel log for the chainsaw and the tractor. Yeah, pretty quick here. We're going to want to unlock the parachute. That's the next big thing we want from the MAM. Actually, let's get that over here. We got to offload that junk on the factory. We got a lot of biomass from our preparation steps that we really could offload here and feed into our biomass facility. Even though we're not using it to produce power anymore, it is rather important because we use biofuel for other things, aka the chainsaw. And of course, we're also powering our vehicles with it at the moment, since it is a super effective fuel. Yes, because of that, we'll keep it running. So let's get this tractor on over there and dump that off, and then we'll make our way back on over to our pipe, our steel pipe construction pipe. Uh-oh. Put it in the wrong one. This one's leaked. Put a container here for now, just temporary. Store all to make room. Dump all these in there, and we'll dump all these in there. Take our cargo container back, that's everything back. We call them cargo containers like a space engineer. They're actually not cargo containers, they're storage. So refill real quick. In here, we'll just store them. Don't think we'll be needing a chainsaw anytime soon, but you never know. And now we have a nice long drive back our foundry. And yes, I think I am going to facade both of these buildings. You have to see the one over there. The other one we won't be able to see because it's hiding. Back up. I'm curious, can we see the other one? Barely there? It looked like we could. Yeah, we can. See the orange. Okay. As you can see, these episodes have gotten considerably longer. Once blueprints hit, we will be able to achieve our objectives a lot faster. That might shorten up these episodes, but I'm only going to do at maximum maybe 1 4 or 5 hour episode a week. The rest of them are going to be no more than about 3 hours. Try to keep them under that. I do have another schedule to keep, mostly from my employer. for YouTubing is not my business. It's just a hobby of mine for now. And if it ever does become a business, it's not going to be as lucrative as my career. We all know that it's important to have a career of some kind. Me, mechanical gamer, the mechanical portion comes from the type of person I am. I'm a mechanical engineer. That's why I call myself a mechanical gamer. But yeah, we can see that facade from all the way up there on the hill. Alright, so let's make a way to get this. We could drive on up there. The park. So in the center here, I'm going to set myself up. Set myself up my equipment. I'm going to put my crafting bench in. Put our workshop in because we're going to need one. We'll drop a MAM. And we'll drop a crafting bench. These are the 3 pieces of equipment, guys, that are needed for everything. This one will be available. There. Yeah, we have a summer sloop. That real quick. Just here and there, we'll drop all these things that are eating my inventory and research.
Summer sloop analysis completed. Summer sloops are somewhere between battery and conduit, harvesting energy from pockets of space with complete disregard for the rules of the space-time continuum, and distributing it into its connected ecosystem. This energy,
Let the effigies harvest until the waves reach our shores. Consume.
similarities to the hypothetical force of dark energy to potentially be one and the same. It can now be tracked by the object scanner.
Okay, so we now have our underfloor, our working floor as we call it. This one here will have our iron enter, just in one. Down at the other end, we're gonna have a 2. Because this one here, not only are we gonna have coal coming in, but we will have at some point sulfur. So, I want to prepare for that. 1 meter thick foundations. Gonna copy what we have up here, down here, up there. There we go. All right, now we're ready to go up there. See, we got our sulfur over there. Coal up there. We're gonna have to head back for more iron and concrete. Oh. Yep, we're gonna need more. This is an expensive platform, but then again, this type of production platforms, they usually are. Not like it's a major problem though. We are mass producing those resources while we're out here doing our thing. Our base back home is working for us tirelessly to build iron plates and concrete. So it's not like it's a major problem. Alright, let's head on back over there and grab those. Oh yes, I could handcraft it, but not time it take me to handcraft that much. Mine, we have to mine it. We have to handcraft it. Concrete in here, by the way. We'd have to mine it. We'd have to handcraft it. Handcraft the ingots. Then we'd have to handcraft the iron plates. Then, of course, the same thing with the concrete. We'd have to mine it, and then we'd have to handcraft it. It's just not worth it. It's faster for us to make this drive back, grab the materials we need, then head back. By the time we would have done all of that, we would have had just enough, and still we might not be done. Now we've reached a point now where we're fast enough with our production that it can keep ahead of us, but we are far enough away that still, and it still keeps up and goes ahead of what we're doing, even though we're quite a ways away. In the amount of time it took us to drive here, we would have been able to mine maybe 300 or 400 iron ore, and then we still have to mine the concrete or the limestone to do what we're going to do. We're already back at the base, just getting ready to start mining limestone if we would have done it by hand. If we're lucky, we might still be mining the other one. Why are we so... Thatched or something? I think we're not thatched. What is this? Try rebuilding this part of the line. It's just like the belt thing. That's the other thing too. We come back here, we find little glitches like this. We could be producing a heck of a lot more concrete. This one's functioning right. Well, we got that worked. We got that figured out. So let's move up to the next section. Need iron. Iron plates. Let's take a look and see if there's anything else that we really want to grab. Oh, I think we're good on everything else for now. Righty. What is those cigar building them? How's this doing? We'll run a trip over. This might be dangerous. Yeah, it is. That was too close for comfort. And we just ran out of pillberries, so we're gonna grab them along the way. Got plenty of the other part, the of course iron plate. Add that to add more over to the hub there, but we can take care of that when we get the pipe. So we're gonna make a stop over at this little lake over here. A lot of pillberries there. Keep that in mind, guys. It's a great spot for pillberries right here. I think there may even be a lizard doggo over here as well. Got 7 here. Back in our hand. And we're back on the road. So we see the spillberry plant. That one's dry. Yeah, a lot of people like to do their opening base here. Not a bad location, but you get kind of blocked by that rock there unless you build high. Which, by the way, I'm telling you, you have to build high. You're going to be really good there. Right. Back to driving. Not a toy, sir. God, those. Knock the PSU for this thing over the table. You did. Like it up there with you, huh? Hot for you, cat, huh? All right, we're now back up here. We got plenty of fruit to heal ourselves if we get injured. Let's finish what we started. Let's get this floor in, and then we'll get the thing set up here. Where? Couple here. Let's put that in place. So this here is the same height as a space elevator, by the way. We're pretty darn close. All right, so first things first is going to be our foundries. 7 of them. They will be inset 4 in. We got the one, the row, and then you've got the assembly. Have our splitters that we're put in. Now we know exactly where these guys are going to sit. Right now, actually, we'll just fix kind of like it over there. The reason why we're doing it like this is, like I said, expandability. That one's got it. Our belts now. Yes, this is supposed to. Up. We can go one further out with all. Like it has to be right on that line. Blueprint, man, I'm looking forward to that. Place backwards. Okay. We're gonna power pull up here. Bring this down onto our assembly square and then edge. There we go. There's this line. Pasted. Go to the side of things. Try to be a little bit more formal with this one. A little closer to close to the our floor hole. Not the side hole, it's a down hole. It's straight on in. Oh crap. Oh crap. We're dead. Heck, stupid cat. I got the ladder. Use poles to build a ladder on. Now this might be. Probably part of the issue. That is one of the dangers about building in a location like this, guys. False move and everything in your inventory. And I mean, we could have lost everything in our inventory there. All because a cat decided to bump my hand. Got some more control barriers to replace the ones we had to save our butt from a fall. Dying from a Yeah, the last thing I want to do is have to save the game, do an edit to get my freaking equipment back. That is exactly what we would have had to do. Close, huh? Oh, you know, don't do this, just... Again, that's what we're... Oh, we can't just... Out. So our floor holes. Now we just need to connect it. It is. Power's connected. Everything's connected. Now we can move on away from the line near the danger zone over to the not so dangerous line. Constructors, which will be inset one layer further back. Okay, so right here. That's too far forward. These ones are going to be building steel pipe. They need 30 and 20, so 30, 60. 90. 20. Yeah, as you can see, we kind of set this factory up quite a bit. These factories a bit differently than our home base over there. All right, looking pretty good. That line's set. Let's bring this up to the assembly linkage. We're not going to worry about the sulfur line right away. We will worry about that later. Right now, our primary focus is getting just to get the pipeline up and running. That way we can start using it to build, or start using it for our next upgrade. Pretty soon here. Not straight, fix it. But pretty soon here, this part that we're doing here pretty much be the only thing we have to do. If we have multiple lines of these conveyors, or these systems that are more than the blueprint can hold, we just paste in the next one. Alright, so this needs its recipe now. and pasted. So now this factory is ready to go over here. Now I need to drive this into the floor. Then go downstairs and do our connection. And then we're set. Our coal's going to come from that way. We're going to have that be on the lower deck. Iron will come through here. Yes, some of you probably asking why I have two holes. Simple. This factory, if you weren't listening before, will be producing explosives as well, so it will require, that will require that. Bugging me. Oh yes, that will bug me. Now we have our coal input. We have our iron input. Let's start linking up these pieces of infrastructure. Uh-oh. Just ran out of reinforced iron plate. Got any in storage? If not, we're making the drive. 5. Hooray, we get to drive back to the frickin' base. One last time before that's complete. Lifting up, there must be something over there it doesn't like that's nearby. All right. Passing through an area that will probably be future factory or a major hub. Don't know which yet. our base has been building that while we're away, so probably should have a decent amount of reinforced iron plate sitting there in it. Almost back now. Okay, let's go collect it. I don't want anything else. That for now. Got 370. Come on. We're going to be getting a refund on a lot of those here in a minute anyway. We start upgrading from tier 2 to tier 3 belts. Get a lot of them on the refund. I'm going to deposit those now because we don't need very many more of these to finish what we're doing. Perfect. In our drive back. So yeah, these two factories are setting up. More than likely in the future, we will import things like coal and iron over here and have them turned into the resources we need later when we start running into the head problem where we don't have enough resources to fill a belt. That will come. But we're not going to ever really increase our Noblisk production beyond what we build. Don't need a whole lot of that. Sulfur is better used for making other things like turbo fuel, like compacted coal for turbo fuel and sulfuric acid. But we're still quite a ways away from the second one. But turbo fuel technically is right around the corner. We could do that as soon as tier 5. And we're going to want to have that unlocked as soon as possible. We're going to take 50 fuel over to our MAM along with the compacted fuel to create that recipe. And then we can then, at that point, we can then focus on building our fuel-based power plants. We'll have our, so of course, by that point, we'll have a quick wire factory up and running, produce the materials for that. Yes, those of you who notice the machines are red, yeah, they're red because power's out. We don't even have the miners in position yet, any of our mining equipment in position yet, so really no point. Soon though, we're getting ready to get to that point where we'll have those. A few minutes here because technically, grab these bacon shrimp. Because technically we're already there. We just got to get the belt into place. now we can get the cargo container for that into place. Just the belt I did shortcut through. Not have enough belt that to really do what we need to do. That's not good. We're gonna be bringing our, we got our 2 iron sources right over there, and we got 2 coal sources. They are quite a ways away. Donating all of my reinforced iron plate research project may not have been the wisest. Okay, perfect. Now we're ready to rock and roll. Let's go take a look at these iron sources right over here. Right here. We're gonna need both of these. Let's chip away the cat fuel on top here. Deposit. We'll platform these up. We'll get them pointed in such a way that we could bridge them here. That way we only have one belt going up. Miners on me, or do I have to make? We're gonna need 3 miners. Get those built. Now there is a recipe, guys, to build these with an assembler. Really, you think about it, how many of them do you really need? That's one of the few components that I continuously craft. We're gonna have this one point that way. This one will point this way. We'll do a merger right here, point up right there. This is where we're going to find out if we have enough of this. If not, then we'll do a little bit of exploration while we wait for that resource to replenish a little. Or we could just go back to the base and steal it from the production line over there, the smart plating production line. Hurt us if we had to. Then we're gonna have to go and get have enough. I can tell you that right now just by looking at the fact that we've got 32 just from that belt alone. Where the ingress point is for the power. Or plus we're gonna have to find our way up those mountains over there at some point. That's where the quartz mines are. And you want to get that research started. As soon as we can, we want to get that research started. So yeah, let's take a look here. So this going on over there. But he's not happy about it. Bad, you got yourself killed for me. There's some ladder on up here. Take his remains. Gonna use a little bit thicker on this one. Bit of a thicky boy here, so. And we're gonna send this belt down right here, or straight on in. Are we gonna leave the ladder? Probably. About 4 more. Eight. Yep, we're gonna need more. So, yeah, that was kind of a mistake, only taking 200. But the research was going to need it either way. We were going to have to apply it to the research at some point. So we're going to do a little bit of exploring. Maybe we'll get lucky and one of these drop pods will have one. Have some reinforced iron plate. But we're going to try to get up to the top of these mountains over here. We're going to take a look about finding our way up there real quick. Right there. I think there's a path over here. Could be wrong though. That's the path that leads down. Oh, that's something they've changed. That used to choke you out. Even on the tractor. Already collected the plate. So this is heading toward the blue crater. Yeah, and we can't go any further. We gotta block it. Over here that would stop, that would remedy that. Nope. Path, we're gonna have to work this one later. And the reason why we're exploring is because by now they've only got basically only probably got maybe another 50 or 60. Actually, it might be more than that. It feels 10 a minute. You know, we've gone for about 10 minutes, so it might have 100. reinforced iron plate by now, but we're probably going to want to have about 200 to be safe. The last time we're going to need a large batch of reinforced iron plate for pretty much anything. Being as we're getting ready to upgrade from full power or from Mark II to Mark III health. The path right here for this one. Okay, we're gonna go down this guy. Okay, now we're heading up. This might be the path that we need to take to get up to where we need to go. Okay, so this is Blue Crater. Over that way is Blue Crater. This up here, I think, takes us up into the mountain. Heading toward the quartz mines that I know are up here in these mountains. Got a hatcher over there that's not happy about us being. Got a couple iron veins here. Normal. Normal. As you can see, you guys are really happy to see me, but I don't want to mess with them right now, so keep on going up. Okay, so we're near the red forest now. You can see that forest up there. That's where most of the map Bucksite starts. That's where it starts. It's like a line from there all the way to the Dune Desert in the east. But all these little vents up here are telling me we're in the right spot. Yep, so here's our quartz mine. This is where our quartz mines are going to be. Take a look and see what's over here. Oh, we got to be careful. We got 3 power hogs here. Thing worth stopping. Require. And so the bigger megafauna guys, they're more dangerous than the small guys. Where your trucks and tractors will plow over the small ones, the big ones will actually can do some damage. They actually knock you around a bit. Go down this path here. See if we can find another route that will take us back down the valley below. We have to be careful because look how high up we are. So fall from this height in this tractor, it should kill you. Matter of fact, I know in older variants of this game, it would kill you. This right here would hurt in older versions of the game. Yeah, this is the route we want to take, so see where this goes. Hear that big giant hole. There we are. There's a hole here, so we gotta be careful of that. This should lead us right back up through that center line there. Perfect. Yeah, in older versions of the game, this gas would have killed you on this vehicle. Looks like a water geyser. What is it? A pure? Water geyser. So we'll have to use. We'll probably be able to use that at some point in the future. But once we get factors, right now it's not even in our mission parameters because of that. It's not even going to happen until Tier 5 mid-game. That's right, guys. You hear me say mid-game. Tier 4, where we are now, is really getting into the start of what would be considered the mid-game. I don't really consider it until you're Tier 5. Tier 5, Tier 6 are mid-game stuff. So you start really dealing with the larger assembly procedures and things like that. Tiers 5 and 6. Tier 4, you're still dealing with the basic equipment that you started with, plus a few extra pieces. So like for instance, we got the foundry in Tier 3. In Tier 4, there's no unlockables. As far as buildings go, there's really no unlockables, but there are unlockables in the sense of belts. We didn't find any more reinforced iron plate, but did find another 200. May have enough silica to do that extra little bonus up there at the MAM. So we're going to check that while we're here, picking up some reinforced iron plate to finish with our construction of our iron pipe. We go. Quartz. 6. Get in here. 2 plus, how much can we? 5, so that's not enough. It's like 120. So right around 120. Around 100. $170. Nice. Got half of what we need for that. We'll stick the silica in there. Iron ore. That over to this. Yep, might as well, since we have it, convert that straight on over into the low on. We'll convert it right into iron rods, Steve. Just so we can get that base material out of our inventory. And then, of course, we'll convert the alien biomasses as well. Okay, and now we can drop alien biomass in there. Drop this iron stuff we are rods. $188. That should be enough. More than enough to get us from where we're going to where we need. Let's top off the fuel. That way we don't get stopped somewhere where we don't want to get stopped. And let's be off to back over to the the steel pipeline for the third time. I'm hoping to get steel production done tonight. That is the most important aspect that we need right now is steel. Oh, that's right. We do get another structure. We get hyper tubes here too, and we get power. And we get power towers here as well. But we might not be using very many power towers in this game because we're going to build a road deck that carries power. It's going to be a lighted road deck. It'll carry power. All right. Well, let's see here. We should be able to see both sites now. Barely see the one over there. I can see that one over there perfect. And then we'll of course probably come back over to here to turn this into a spot for building frames. That's something we're going to do in a later episode. But it is time to start getting some of these basic supplies built in mass because they may be needed later. Because actually, some of them I know for a fact will be needed later. Reinforced iron plate is going to be needed for other things besides just smart plating. So, and I know for a fact that rotors are used, and rotors are used to build motors. And of course, modular frames are used to build the advanced modular frame, which then leads to which also leads to another modular frame that's after that. Did I run power? I didn't. I'm gonna have to go back up there, go back up there and get the power running. But yeah, we've already got the materials, guys, by now for Mark III. So we don't want this power pole because that's backbone. that's something you gotta remember. We don't want our backbone power any specific piece of equipment. We want it to power. It's designed for powering factories. Plus, this is going to be all that's going to be ripped out here soon. So we're going to get rid of this now. We're going to get rid of this set here because we're going to put a new ladder in on this platform. Just go above where we need to be. It does. So. Power pole. Okay, so now the coal is connected. Fire ladder. I'm gonna do it from the top down. I don't care. Okay, so we're gonna come here. So we've already used up 150. So we're gonna meet our requirement. We'll actually run this over on poles. Okay, okay. So that connects up everything. Now we've got this factory set. Let's hook it up to power and do our troubleshooting. Sure we didn't leave anything out. So, a massive jump here. We're getting really close to this production line, which means we're going to need more coal power. Means these belts that we're coming out with are going to be a great a great help for that. We'll do Mark II miners. So we got coal on the belt up there. I got iron on the belt over there. Perfect. Looks like it's all bridged up. Perfect. They all have yellow towers. Sure do. So that means program. Those all have yellow towers, which means they're programmed. This is the beginning of the end of Mark II belt. So Mark III do 270 items a minute. It's still kind of a pitiful amount compared to Mark IV, which is almost double. Almost. I mean that when I say that because double 270 is actually 540, but those belts do 480. But then the next belt up is 300 more, 780, and I think the last one's like an 1140 or something like that. I don't remember Tier 6 is. Never used. So here comes our first iron. So iron's on top. See how the coal's going in here? Coal has not read. Now, coal's right here. It's almost there. So we're gonna make this a bit safer. Since we're building over an abyss, might as well. We're going to be waiting some time for iron pipe. 100 iron pipe that we need. So later on, we'll probably replace these lower ones with some windows. Overlook the abyss. Now. Heard them kick on up there. Holes here, and it is. All right. There. There we go. And we'll probably do the same thing to the other one as well. These upper floors for now can stay the way they are, but we're going to put a front facade on these along with the side skirt. But the back will probably just be a railing. It'll be open. Because, like I said, we're gonna continue to expand further and further out as we bring more equipment online. All right, we now are seeing our first steel pipe. Has not reached the container yet. It probably has. First off, we're in the wrong area. Got 2 in the container, so we got some time. That power slug up there is annoying me, so let's go and take care of that. Bad form to leave it up here. Look at those rocks. Any color coming. Figure that out later. Not worried about that. Really too worried about that at the moment. Oh, nope. We don't take out the power line. Oh, it's something else that's at us here. Must be a cave below us. We're gonna collect a couple of these. Well, there is a cave below, but I don't think that's from down here. We'll hear it. Okay. Sounds like it's a power slug. Hiding up. Not underneath our platform. Would not have been able to build that platform if it were. Gotta be around there somewhere, so we're gonna have to do an investigation. Once we have the 200 steel pipe, though, we're gonna want to get that over to hub as quickly as possible. Also, just as it's complete. Probably looking for a cave that's around here. Take a look if we can find that. I don't have the time for though, because this thing's producing quite a decent amount of pipe. Oh, we've already got the pipe. let's head back to base, guys. We have everything we need. Mark 3 conveyor. Logistics 3. We're gonna pick up some of that iron on the way, or that steel on the way as well. So I can show you guys what this Mark 3 belt does. And we're going to replace, probably try to get that, and we'll try to see about getting advanced steel production. Maybe we can get that, I don't know, I haven't looked. That requires, step 5, so as you can see, we've already built quite a good stock up of steel beam. And since we're getting ready to convert over to steel beam for our main source of conveyor material from our current, which is reinforced iron plate, and we're going to get a lot of that returned to us. In fact, every time you upgrade, you get material returned to you. Material you put into it is returned to you. So we'll be able to put that reinforced iron plate to good use building other things. So we'll create a storage for it. Then we'll use it to build, maybe we'll use it to build these modular frames that we need with the blueprints. Which honestly, I want to unlock that one before I do steel production. So I'm gonna grind those out because they're such an important aspect of this game. I've got about maybe 15 to 20 minutes to do that before I've got to go. So and it'll be one of the last things we do tonight. We'll get that. We'll get the blueprint machine out. If that's possible. And on the next episode, which I don't know when that's going to be, it might be Monday, but more than likely, I would expect it by Tuesday or Wednesday. Say Wednesday at the latest. Because I probably will be on. I might be on again tonight, but if I do get on again tonight, it'll be a different game. That way I don't burn myself out here, but heck, being a mechanical engineer, this type of stuff really does intrigue me. Building games like this intrigue me. What's this? Oh, we're gonna scan that real quick. Because now that we've got that hooked up right, we're producing concrete like a madman. Okay, so we needed the pipe. Boom! Launching up into space. Pod will be back in
Milestone
about
reached.
5 minutes.
Improved
Perfect.
storage containers and the conveyor
Let's take a
belt
look at
Mark
this one.
III provide the obviously necessary tools for improving your current setup. Production speed is of the essence after all. So work hard. Work as if every person you have ever or will ever love is depending solely on the choices that you make.
So yeah, we're
Because
gonna
they
need
are. Warning.
100
Fix-It
of these.
psychologists recommend not dwelling on the crushing mental and physical strain of your responsibilities and simply continuing to be productive. Hard work has repeatedly proven to be the best cure for any kind of stress. Now back to work.
We're needing screws to build these too. But we're converting all of our reinforced iron plates over. But we've got Mark III now, so that basically means that really all we have to do is start upgrading belts to Mark III to get reinforced iron plate. But it's actually going to be a screw problem. But it's not screws that we're using, rods. We're gonna need more iron rod too. That's not a problem. Iron rods are what got us, but both. So what we're gonna do here. We're gonna get our iron rods by that. Now we have to reassign our logistics. You look at much faster, guys, right? So it's going to change quite a bit of our logistics. Because now we have 120, these belts can 240. Meaning this isn't needed anymore. This goes bye-bye. Alright, that container, we could transport 240. We're just gonna patch it all in. Right up here, we'll do this upgrade. Upgraded. Now, if you try to run on this Mark III belt without a Blade Runner, you're gonna find out rapidly that it is faster than you are. Considerably faster. So this is going to change. Matter of fact, let's go. Let's see. Can we get safely? We're going to send this up here now. So, Raider's back. I want to go over there and investigate that and start working on this next technology. But first, we're our upgrade, some of our upgrades here. This machine here is about to shut down. Got about 5 minutes. Let's go get that upgrade now. Start working on that upgrade now. So we should have enough. See, even with the Blade Runners, it's kind of hard to run on it. Technology. We need another 30, 38. We're probably going to need more than that because we're going to need some to build the blueprint. But the blueprint machine is going to allow for us to be faster at building these factories. Once we lay down our deck, it will just put in the... We'll lay down our deck and then we'll be able to just put in the machine off of a blueprint, which will make it a lot faster. Six. Stop.
Milestone reached. Blueprints reduce repetitive building tasks, further optimizing your progression towards saving Earth, with its beautiful ecosystems, abundant natural resources, and sunsets over frolicking puppies and kittens. The blueprint designer allows you to build and combine structures once and then duplicate that configuration effortlessly. Any complaints about the spatial restrictions will only reveal your own inefficiencies.
Oh, I could complain about it because it's only a 4x4 if I remember correctly. So let's mark those two. X. Next research, of course, we'll can't steal. With that mark, that one there, we're gonna build the. Look at our miners. Still running on miner mark 1. Technology, I think it's this next technology we're researching gives us miner mark. Back in him. Yeah, this one will give us a miner mark 2. It's almost time to switch these things out for something a bit better, so let's have a look. Oh yeah, we got the big boy now. So we need run this another five times. Not 14. All right.
Once you have built a satisfactory blueprint, interact with the Blueprint Designer terminal to save it. It will then be available in the Blueprints tab of your build menu.
So,
Blueprints can always be edited to correct mistakes or optimize. If you find yourself struggling to work within the set size restrictions, remember that this is a you problem, and efficiency can always be improved.
gonna drop a couple towers in. These towers are not going to stay here forever. They're just here to facilitate the building process. This one. Keep these. Okay. So, now we've got that. We could start building some blueprints probably on the next episode that will speed up our construction. So, matter of fact, I'm going to show you how this works. Some of you probably don't know. So let's do our smelter build first. So, each of these squares is a square in the game. So basically one of these grids you see here. Now, normally when we do our smelters, we're going to do it based off the center line. So we're going to build everything off this center line. We'll start here with this guy. This is going to be a splitter. And let's do it based off this end being the front. That's close enough. We could now what we're doing here I'm just gonna max it out because truth is, if I need less, I could just cut them off. So all you newbies out here, remember this. This is a very, very important thing to understand, all of you who are new to the game. Blueprints are a godsend. It will tell you how much, when you select a blueprint, it'll tell you how much material is required to build that blueprint. So it'll tell me how many materials I need. To build this blueprint. We're not going to hook it to the power grid. But we're going to follow our standard build procedure. And basically what we've done now is what we're doing is we're standardizing this layout. You probably noticed we didn't build the front bridge, and we're not going to because that's something we would add in uniquely at every base location. So assembly bridge, the way it's hooked up, because that really is based on how the factory is set up. You also probably noticed we didn't program any of these. We don't plan to. So this right here, we are going to say this one here is smelter 12X. Oh, caps lock. X. And we're not going to put the belt type. Right? We'll put that down here in the description. 12 smelters. Standard config. Mark III belt. Okay. We're going to select an icon. We're going to smelter icon. We're going to select a color. We'll make this one red. Back one. That way it shows more. All right. And now we're going to hit save blueprint. Now if I go into my build command, I go to blueprints, we're going to see the smelter 12X. I'm also now going to click on here again. I'm going to click configure. I'm going to say clear the blueprint designer. And we're going to see it's blank again. This chest over here has everything. So this is what's required to build that line. Take it all. And let's go over what we finished tonight. So tonight we managed to finish, got the fix-it blueprints. We got one of our blueprint libraries set up. We've got the Logistics Mark III, the steel pipe, and the steel beam. So I am going to clear those off of our inventory. Things to do. Because we have done them. And I'm going to change this one here. Because as much as I like this, I do know that we need one thing. Modular steel frames. Modular frames, excuse me. Modular flame line. And we're going to take the X off. We're going to save that objective. And we'll continue picking up where we left off. Like I said, we weren't going to finish them all this round. I knew that wasn't going to happen. But I will see you all on the next one. And I wish you all a good day. And hope you guys all had a good weekend. This is Mechanical Gamer signing off. Bye now.